morning. Well, I've come out this morning because a couple of people have asked me about a simple hammock setup, and well, it's sod's law. Started raining as soon as I got here, so this isn't going to be as elaborate as I was planning. It's going to have to be a bit of a quick and simple one. Not even sure whether this is going to turn into a decent video. I might just bin it, but we'll see how we get on. My thoughts on hammock camping. People make it look complicated. Lots of fancy rigging systems, fancy knots. You don't need any of that. I'll show you what gear I'm using, and I'll show you how simple it is. Right, I'm just going to use my little super light hammock because I couldn't be asked to bring out the big one. It's just a faff if I'm not staying. And I'm going to use these straps. They've got the multiple loops, daisy chains some people call them. I don't know if that's their proper name or nickname, but yeah, simple strap, multiple loops, makes it really easy to adjust your hammock. Just need a carabiner on either end. I'll get on, I'll put it up, obviously at a distance so you can see, and then I'll bring you in closer to show you the finer points, as it were. Let's go. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. You can see we're a bit on the tilt. That's fine. In an ideal world, let me just check behind the camera, make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, let's square it up a bit. Bosh, there. You can see the hammock closer to that tree than that one. Ideally, you want it central. That's just poor choice of location for me, because that strap is already on its maximum stretch. If it had been a thinner tree, obviously I'd have more slack. So, you know, I can work with it. It's not really an issue. It's just being, if you wanted to be perfect, that'll work. The other thing, having one end slightly higher than the other. Everyone expects, you know, it should be like dead flat looking perfect. No. Get one end slightly higher and make that your foot end. Because if you wiggle about in the night, you tend to slide down a little bit in hammock. By having the foot end slightly higher, it stops that. Not completely, but you're more likely to stay put. So yes, it is as simple as that. If I'd chosen the right trees, but I didn't have a lot of time to look because I wanted to beat the weather. And I had that little bit more adjustment. Yes, I'd move it slightly that way so the hammock was a little bit more central. With the multi-loop daisy chain system, it's simple. Once you're happy with the height of the hammock, go up 2 loops one end, come off 2 loops the other end. Your height's going to be the same, you just physically move the hammock. It's as simple as that. As far as mounting it, on the trees, and for a standard hammock, I normally look 5 paces apart. That's normally about right, a good starting point at least. 4 to 5 on a standard one. My XL hammock is more like 5 to 6. Anything around the 5 mark will do. Don't need to get too technical about it. The straps, head high, always head high. That always seems to work. And I aim for the hammock itself, the centre of it, to be about hips, waist height, something like that. It looks a little high for some people, but to be honest, it's just been put up. Once you get in it, there's a little bit amount of stretch in the fabric, there'll be a little bit amount of stretch in the straps as they tighten up on the tree. We'll test that theory. Now, quite close to the floor. Happy with that. That is really how simple it is. I know people use whoopee slings, that's the thing, I couldn't think for a minute, with the sliding multi-adjustable bit of string. Yeah, it's very fancy, and it might be a bit lighter. Do you need it? Not really. What's wrong with the daisy chains? I think they're only about 10 quid for a pair. You see I've got a link to webbing on one of them as well. That's purely for if I'm in a location with not many trees and the gaps are huge. It's just an extension for the strap basically. It's not an ideal solution, but it's better than it not working at all. But yes, that is how simple it is. I suppose the other thing we could do is stick the tarp over the top as it's raining. Again, no real need for fancy knots. It is really simple. Well, it's as simple as you want to make it. Obviously, this will be done at a distance. You won't be able to see the knots that I'm doing easily, clearly. If you look down through my channel, I have got a tarpon ridgeline video. If possible, I'll try and link it to this one. I'm bloody rubbish with computers, so that might not happen. I'll try my best. But yeah, let's stick the tarp up. chose a thinner tree. That'll do. Job done. Now we've got somewhere dry. Got to stick the bag in that underneath. Now I've just looked back through that first bit of filming, and the audio was crap because I was facing away from the camera, and I'm not using my proper camera because it's wet. I'm only using my phone, and the audio's not good on that at the best of times, so I apologise for that. So I thought I'll sit here in the dry and basically summarise a little bit. Standard hammock, look for your trees about 5 paces apart, roughly. It's always a good starting point. The daisy chains with the multiple loops makes life so much easier with the carabiners. Just stick the hammock up any way you like, step back, have a look at it. You want it roughly central between the 2 trees. It's not crucial, but in an ideal world, central. If it's off central, like that, it's just a case of undoing the carabiner, come down a couple of loops on one strap, go up a couple of loops on the other strap, it physically goes sideways, get yourself central. Also, one end slightly higher than the other, that being the foot end. It will make it more comfortable. Trust me, it will. Again, once you've decided, depending on your location, what you want as a view, you've decided which end's going to be the foot end, undo the carabiner, just go up one loop, simple as that. With your setup, I like to go, once the hammock's in place, no weight in it, just hanging there free, about waist high. Once you're sitting in it, a little bit of stretching the hammock, a little bit of stretching the straps as they tighten, it'll drop down, you'll be about right. I saw a good bit of advice once about hammock camping, and they said only hang your hammock at a height that you'd be happy to fall out of it. It's not bad advice. Also, when the weather's a bit crappy, the lower you get, the lower you can get your tarp, the more wind and rain it's going to keep out. In the summer, fine, get as high as you like, but in poor weather, you want to hunker down a little bit. As for the tarp, is that hammock done? Still not thinking very clearly today. Yes, I think so. 5 paces apart, straps on the trees, head high. Yeah, I think we're there. As for the tarp, as you saw, I just ridge lined off the trees, same height as I've fitted the straps, essentially, head high. As you can see, good bit of clearance. I can, sitting in the hammock, just about touch the ridge line. I've put it up in a diamond formation. You get more coverage, obviously, lengthways. Helps to keep the straps of the hammock dry in the rain. It is possible with enough rain, water can travel down them, which is another advantage of using the carabiners on the end, because they work like water stops. If the straps get really wet, water will get as far as the metal carabiner and then drip off rather than continuing into your hammock. So yeah, diamond configuration on the tarp is generally what I use, good or bad weather really. You can probably see looking that way because of how it is. Although you're well covered for the weather, you've still got a decent view. That's how I like it. If I'm in the hammock, it's all about being outside as opposed to being shut in a tent. So the more you can make the most of that view, the better really. So that's about as complicated as it gets. Just ridge line, throwing the tarp over in the diamond configuration. Use the Prusik knot on either end, just to tension it, and put my guy lines on the corners. I don't know whether it noticed in the videos, but to attach my guy lines on, obviously I don't only use this for hammocks, I make shelters out of it and all that sort of thing, so the guy lines need to be in different places. So on the end of each guy line, I've just got some cheap lightweight carabiners out of Poundland. I think they were £1 for, I think it was 8 in the pack. They're not very strong, you can't use them for anything else, but for that sort of function, it's perfectly fine. So wherever I need the guy line, dink, just snap it on, keeping it simple. So yeah, that's the basic hammock setup. Until I look back through this video properly, I might look at it and think, oh, that was bloody rubbish, and I might do it again. But I'm certainly not filming it again today, because it's horrible out here. Far from ideal. But hey, I tried. I'll catch you all on the next one, guys. Have a nice weekend.